Hello guys, this is your first chapter. The title is Exponent, Radicals, and Logarithm. We'll begin with exponent for today. Actually, this is the review of materials in your junior high school, so I think you still remember it. The first one is law of exponents. The first one is a to the power of 0 equals to 1, a to the power of 1 equals to a, and then a to the power of m times a to the power of n equals to a to the power of m plus n. So when you do multiplication, you will add the powers, yeah, but the bases have to be the same. If the basis is not the same, you cannot add the um, exponent. Okay, and then the fourth one is the opposite of the third. When you have a to the power of m over a to the power of n, you will minus the powers. And then when you have powers and then you have another powers outside of the brackets, you will multiply it. And then a to the power of negative 1 means 1 over a. Okay, so you have to pay attention with this one because most of you a little bit confused with these properties, yeah. And also 7, a to the power of negative m equals to 1 over a to the power of m. 8 a to the power of 1 over n equals to roots of n of a. Wait, how do you say it? Root n of a. Okay, that's the correct one. Okay, then a to the power of m over n is root n of a to the power of m. And then question 10, when you have a times b to the power of m, you can input the m inside the brackets. You have a to the power of m times b to the power of m. And this one also the same. Okay, we'll review one by one. We'll start with the first one. A to the power of 0 equals to 1. So when you have 2 to the power of 0, the result equals to 1. Negative 3. Even though the basis is negative, it doesn't matter. As long as the power is 0, you'll get the result of 1. Okay. Next is the second properties. A to the power of 1 equals to a. So 2 to the power of 1 equals to 2. Negative 3 to the power of 1 is negative 3. So if you have powers of 1, that means the result will be the basis itself. Next, a to the power of m times a to the power of n equals to a to the power of m plus n. Okay, so the condition for this one is the bases have to be the same. So you have to check it first. If the basis is not the same, you cannot use these properties. Yeah, so this one is the same. So the 2 will be like that, and then 3 plus 4. Yeah, you will add the powers. um, Final result, you'll have 2 to the power of 7. And then for the second one, as you can see, this one is 2 and this one is 3. It's not the same. Because it's not the same, you cannot multiply it. Just leave it like that. Or maybe you can evaluate using the real value of 2 to the power of 3 times 3 to the power of 4. Yeah, but I think you don't have to do it because this is exponent chapters. That means the final answer usually in exponent form. Okay, for this one, we have a and also a the same. That means the result will be a to the power of 5 minus 3 equals to a to the power of 2. Okay, that is the third properties. The fourth property is a to the power of m over a to the power of n. You will subtract the powers. For this one, you'll have 2. Oh yeah, the condition also the same. The bases have to be the same. Yeah, so the 2 is like that, and then 3 minus 4 equals to 2 to the power of negative 1. Some students confuse with the position of the 2. So every time you use these properties, the 2 must be at the top. Yeah, not on the denominator, but it will be always at the top. Okay, and then for this one, as we can see, the basis is not the same. One of them is 2 and the other is 3. That means this one cannot be calculated, so you only have to rewrite the question. And then this one, a is the same. We have same a. That means the result will be 5, a to the power of 5 I mean, and then minus it with the bottom part, negative 3. So a to the power of 8. There you go. Next, example 5. Not example 5, the fifth properties. A to the power of m n equals to a to the power of m times n. So basically, you only have to multiply this. Yeah. So 2 to the power of negative 6 for this one. And then when you multiply this, you'll have a to the power of 3. For this one, a little bit difficult, guys, because inside the brackets, we have complicated things. Yeah, so I think you have to simplify this one first. Okay, let's simplify the a. So as you can see, we have a. Let's combine the third and the fourth properties in one step. Yeah, so you write down the a first, and then take a look at the 3 and the 2, because 3 and 2 is multiplication. That means you will add them like this, 3 plus 2. And then because 7 is on the bottom side, that means you have to minus it. Minus 7. There you go. And then you still have to the power of negative 4. And when you simplify this, you'll have a to the power of negative 2 and then negative 4. That means a to the power of 8. Okay. Next is question 6. For question 6, we have a to the power of negative 1 equals to 1 over a. So when you have 2 to the power of negative 1, you will have 1 over 2. When you have b to the power of negative 1, you will have 1 over b. And then when you have 2 over b, and the question wants you to um, make this form into exponential form, that means you have to write down the 2. And then you will change the 1 over b. Okay, let me explain this. So 2 over b means 2 times 1 over b, right? It's the same, right? Okay, and then you will leave the 2 like that. The 1 over b will become this. Use the properties, yeah? So the b to the power of negative 1. Okay, but if you confused with this formula, you can use this one also. So when you have b to the power of 1 at the bottom part, you can move it to the top. When you move powers to the top or down, you can not you can you have to um, write down the powers as the opposite sign. Yeah, so when you have b to the power of 1 at the bottom part and you want to take it to the top part, you can do it, but you have to write it as negative 1 like this. Yeah. Okay, and then 7, we have a to the power of negative m. It's the same with the previous one, but this time we have powers after we write down the 1 over, yeah. So this one will be 1 over 5 to the power of 3. This one is 1 over b to the power of 2. And this one is 2 times b to the power of negative 3. When you move it up, it will become negative. And then for this one, you have to simplify this one first, yeah. Okay, let's do this right here. So a to the power of 3 and then multiply by 4 means plus 4, right? And then divide by 10 means negative 10. And the a is at the top, yeah, not on the bottom. And then for this one, you will have a to the power of 7 minus 10 is negative 3. And then because the question wants you to write down the answers in positive powers or positive index, that means you have to bring it down like this. When you have a to the power of negative 3 at the top, you can move it down by write down the powers as the opposite. Yeah, so when you have negative 3, you will write it as a to the power of 3. Okay, that is 7. Next is 8. A to the power of 1 over n equals to square root n of a. Okay, so for this one, we'll have square root of 2. Remember, when you have square root 2, you don't have to write down the 2. So you only have to write down the 9. Okay, if you want to calculate this, you can calculate it by evaluate the result of the square root of 9. Yeah, square root of 9 equals to 3. And then for this one is cube root of 64, and cube root of 64 is 4. 4 times 4 is 64, right? Okay, so and then for this one, the question is reversed. The root is already given. That means we only have to change it into powers. Yeah. When you have root 5 of b, the powers will become 1 over 5. Okay, next 9. This one is the same with the previous one, but it has powers after you write down the square root. Okay, the square root of, okay, so I will explain this. So when you write down the square root, that means you already use this one. So the 2 is already gone, guys. When you already write down the square root, the 2 is already gone. So the next thing you have to do is you only have to write down the rest like this. Yeah, so square root of 9 to the power of 3. And then for this one is more complicated, guys. We have negative. Negative means 1 over. Okay, when you already write down 1 over, that means you already use the negative. The negative is already gone. And then let's write down the 3 first. The over 3 will give you cube root, right? Cube root. Okay, we already write down the cube root. That means we already use this. And then we only have to write down the rest. 64 to the power of 2. Like that. Okay. And then for this one, the question is reverse. The roots already given. You have to write it down in exponential form. Okay. So first, I want to bring this one to the top. So you have a to the power of negative 2, right? And then after this, I will convert the cube root into powers. Remember, when you have cube root, you will have the powers of over 3. Like that. So the answer is this one. Okay, next is properties, 10 properties. This one is a times b to the power of m equals to a to the power of m times b to the power of m. That means you only have to input the powers like that. But be careful because sometimes the question give you an addition, not multiplication like this. 2 plus 3 to the power of 4. For addition, you cannot input the powers into the brackets like this, yeah, so be careful. And then 12 to the power of 5. Sometimes the question wants you to break down the bases like this, like 12 is 2 to the power of 2 times 3, right? And then we still have 5 like this. That means you can use the properties. So 2 to the power of 2 times 5 is 10 times 3 to the power of 5, like that. And then this one also the same, a to the power of 4, b to the power of 4. Easy. Next is 11. The last one is the 11 properties. A over b to the power of m equals to a to the power of m over b to the power of m. It's the same with the previous one, yeah. So for this one, you only have to input the negative 4. You'll have 2 to the power of negative 4 over 3 to the power of negative 4. But unfortunately, the question wants you to answer it in positive powers. That means we have to switch it. We will bring the 3 up. That means the negative 4 will be changed into 4 like that. And then we'll bring the 2 to the power of negative 4 down. So we'll have 2 to the power of 4 at the bottom part. Okay. And then for this one, it's easy. You only have to write down a to the power of 5, b to the power of 5. Okay, that is the review of the properties. I hope you still remember it because later we'll use all of them. Okay, example covering all of the laws of indices. Not indices, yeah, exponents. So indices is in British language. So I usually use indices, but in English, US English will say it as exponent. Yeah, it's the same lah. Simplify the following and write down your answer in positive index. Okay, we have these very hard questions, but don't worry. If you already memorize all of the properties, I think you can do this. Yeah, so first, inside the brackets, we cannot do anything because we cannot multiply the a to the power of 3 with b to the power of 2. So I think you better bring the 2 inside the brackets. Yes, this is the 10 properties, the 11 properties. Okay, So we will write it like this: 1 to the power of 2 equals to 1. So you don't have to write down the 2 over. This one is a to the power of 3 times 2 equals to 6. And then b to the power of 2 times 2 equals to 4. So remember, when you bring the powers inside the brackets, that means you have to multiply the powers times. And then for this one, we can calculate this using the fourth properties, I guess. The fourth property says when you have the same bases and you want to divide it, that means you have to subtract the powers. Yeah, so it will become 4 minus half. 4 minus half is 3.5. 3.5 is 7 over 2. Okay. And then next is b to the power of 3 with b to the power of 2. Okay, remember, you can do this when you don't have any subtraction or addition. Yeah, if there is addition like this, you cannot do it like that. That means you need to find out another way. Yeah, and then for this one, we have b to the power of 3 over b to the power of 2. That means still division. You have to minus the powers. 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 equals to 1. And then the c doesn't have a partner, so just rewrite. Okay, and then next we have to multiply the a and the b, because we have a on the top and 1a on at the bottom. That means you have to divide it. Yeah, divide means you have to subtract the powers. So you have a to the power of 7 over 2, and then at the bottom part you have 6. That means 7 over 2 minus 6. And then we have b to the power of 1 with b to the power of 4, b to the power of 1 minus 4, and then over c to the power of 4, just like that. Yeah, and then this one will become 12 over 2 negative 5 over 2, and then this one is b negative 3 over c to the power of 4. Okay, and then the result will be, because the question wants you to answer it in positive powers, that means you have to bring the a and b down. 1 over a to the power of 5 over 2, b to the power of 3, and c to the power of 4. Okay, so this is the example of the hard questions involving all of the properties. Okay, and then next is exponential function. The difference between exponential and exponential function is, when you dealing with exponential function, you will dealing with y and x like this. Fx equals to y equals to a to the power of x. Yeah, and the exponential function different with this one, different with a to the power of x, can be regarded as a transformation of this general form. Yeah, so when you have, let's say, a to the power of x and then you have plus 1, that means it's already transformed, guys. I will explain it later. So before we usually when we are talking about function, that means you have to draw it, right? You have to draw the graph and yeah, something related with that one. So before you sketch the graph, I think you better know how to find the value of exponential function. Yeah, it's just like the other function, you only have to input the value of x. Okay, so for the first one, we have f0. F0 means you have to substitute the 0 into the x. So you have 2 to the power of 0. 2 to the power of 0 equals 1. And then 2 to the power of 1 equals to 2. And then 2 to the power of negative 2 equals to, you still remember what is negative? Negative means 1 over, right? And then we still have 2 to the power of 2, like there. So the value is 1 over 4. And then how about half? 2 to the power of half equals to, do you still remember what is the meaning of half? Half means square root. Yeah, so square root of 2. And then infinity, 2 to the power of infinity. Infinity means very large number. So when you have 2 to the power of very large number, I think the value will be infinity also. Yeah, but be careful with this one. When you have 2 to the power of negative infinity, we have to use the properties first. The properties of negative. Negative means 1 over 2 to the power of infinity. Okay, we are agree that 2 to the power of infinity will be very large number like this. Let's say that means when you have 1 divided by a very large number, you will have the result of 1 over infinity actually undefined. Yeah, you cannot say it as 0. Okay, so this one is undefined. Okay, next. Next is before sketching the graph, finding the y-intercept also help you to draw later. So the y-intercept can be found by substituting x equals to 0. Let's say you have y equals to 3 to the power of x and you want to find the y-intercept. That means you can say that x equals to 0 and then you have to find the y like this and then you'll get y equals to 1. That means 0, 1 will be the y-intercept. And then how about this one? This one is not 5 to the power of x. We have negative 4. As I told you before, when you have something else than the original exponential functions, that means this one's already transformed. But because the question only wants you to find the y-intercept, you don't have to worry because this one is very easy. So y-intercept happens when x equals to 0, and then when x equals to 0, you will have this y equals to 5 to the power of negative 4. That means y equals to 1 over 5 to the power of 4, which is 1 over 625. That means the y-intercept will be this one. Yeah, it's very close to 0. 1 over 625 is 0.00 something. Yeah, so the result will be very close to 0. And then the graph of exponential function has a line called asymptote. For this one, maybe you haven't heard it, but maybe some of you already know what is asymptotes. Yeah, an asymptote is a line that a curve approach so closely that the distance between the curve and the line tends to 0. So it will be very close. I will show it later. Yeah, as x, y, or both approach infinity. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. This is the graph of y equals to a to the power of x. The asymptotes line is this one. Why? Because when you continue the graph to the left side, it will be approach the x-axis or approach the y equals to 0, but it will never touch the x-axis or the y equals to 0. So if you continue, the gap in between the curve and the x-axis will be very close, guys. Yeah, the distance tends to 0. The distance will be very close. Okay, so that is the definition of asymptotes. The asymptote of the exponential function in the original form is y equals to 0. As I told you before, when we have the one that is not original, the asymptote will be also translated or maybe transformed. Yeah, usually it's translated. And then how do you sketch the exponential functions? First, you have to find the y-intercept. Second, you determine the asymptotes, and then you can sketch the graph. Yeah, you don't have to sketch it accurately, but using this and this, I think is enough to sketch. Okay, first, the question wants you to sketch 2 to the power of x. First step, we have to find the y-intercept. To find the y-intercept, that means you have to input x equals to 0 to the functions. That means y equals to 2 to the power of 0, y equals to 1. So from this one, we will have 0, 1 as the y-intercept. Next is to determine the asymptotes. Because this is the original function of exponential, that means the asymptote is definitely y equals to 0, as the definition of asymptote is like that, yeah. And then the third is sketch. Okay, let's sketch it. So you have to draw the x and y intercept like this. This is y, this is x, and then you have to draw the 0, 1, 0, 1. Let's say 0, 1 is right there, and then you have to draw the asymptotes also. Y equals to 0 is a horizontal line at y equals to 0 like this, yeah. And then after this you have to draw the curve. Nah, so this one is y equals to 2 to the power of x, yeah. It will be always like this, increasing to the top right. Okay, it will never decreasing to the bottom right if the exponential function is still original, yeah, not yet transformed. If it is already transformed, the curve can be changed. Okay, we will learn the transformation of the graph, yeah. So when you have negative 2x, we already learned how to sketch this one before, right? But if the question wants you to sketch the negative 2 to the power of x, that means you have to reflect the 2 to the power of x to the x-axis, okay? And then when you have this, you have to reflect the 2 to the power of x in the y-axis. And then a means stretch by a scale factor of a. Vertical stretch means you have to multiply all of the value of y by the scale factor of a. Okay, b means horizontal stretch. Horizontal stretch means you have to multiply all of the value of x by the scale factor of 1 over b. And then negative c at the powers means you have to shift the curve c unit to the right, plus c means c units to the left, plus d after the powers means d units upwards. You have to shift the 2 to the power of x d units upwards, and negative d means d units downwards. Okay, so this one is the concept of transformation. Actually, this one is not in your book, but I want to teach these materials for you. Okay, let's try to draw this one. Okay, so let's take a look at the original. The original is fx equals 2 to the power of x. That means you have to draw this one first. I already teach you how to draw this before, right? So you better memorize it. Okay, 2 to the power of x is like this. We have 0, 1 right here. And the asymptote is at x-axis. Okay, this one is the original one. But this time we have to draw 2 to the power of x. Not 2 to the power of x, but 2 to the power of x minus 1. What is the meaning of minus 1? Minus 1 means 1 units to the right. You have to shift the, what is it called? The graph 1 units to the right. That means this point will move there. Yeah. And then let's say you have this point. Wait. Let's say you have this point. This point will move there. Okay. That means the shapes will be like this. Okay. So this is fx equals to 2 to the power of x and then minus 1. Okay. And then next is this one. 3. 3 times. 3 times means vertical stretch by a scale factor of a. That means you have to multiply all of the value of y by 3. So we have this point before, right? 1, 1, 1, 1. You focus on the y equals to 1, and then you have to multiply it by 3. So it will become 1, 3. 1, 2, 3, like this. Okay, and then this one also multiply it by 3. 1, let's say that one is 0.5 lah ya. 0.5 times 3 is 1.5. Okay, so the curve will be like this. Okay, and then also plus 4. Plus 4 means you have to shift 4 units up. That means from here you have to shift it 4 units. Yeah, 4 units means 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Nah, of course, because you shift the curve up 4 units, that means the asymptotes will be also changed, will be also shifted 4 units up. 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Yeah. So the asymptotes will be right here. Not y equals to 0 anymore, but it will become y equals to 4. Yeah. Okay, that is how you draw or sketch the graph of exponential function after it is transformed. And the last one is exponential equation. An exponential equation is a mathematical equation involving exponential expression. The usual method to solving an exponential equation is to express both sides with the same base. If the bases cannot be expressed in the same form, logarithm can be used to solve the equation. We'll study this method later after we reach the logarithm section. Example question 1. Solve the equation 2 to the power of x equals to 4. As the introduction before said, the usual method to solve the exponential equation is to express both sides with the same base. So if the left side have 2 to the power of x, that means the right hand side have to be also 2 to the power of something. So 4 is 2 to the power of 2, right? And then after that, because the 2 is already the same, we can ignore it. And then we will have x equals to 2. Yeah, not cross out. Yeah, you can say it's cross out, but the idea is not cross out, but to ignore it. Okay? And then example 2, we have this 1 over 4 to the power of x plus 2 equals to 8. Okay, so for this one, I think we should do it one by one. I will change the 4 into 2 to the power of 2, like this. And then I will render the x plus 2 outside. And then for the 8, I will change it into 2 to the power of 3. And then I will change the square root later. Okay, and then next, I will bring this up. So I will have 2 to the power of negative 2. And then we still have x plus 2 right there. And then for this one, I will change the square roots. Yeah, the square root will become over 2 like this. And then after this, you have to multiply this using the properties. You will get that, and like this. And then you can ignore the 2. Yeah, so you have negative 2x minus 4 equals to 3 over 2. And then you only have to calculate this. Yeah, so to make it easier, I will multiply them all by 2 like this, and then I will move the 8. You'll get 11, and then the final answer is negative 11 over 4. Okay, next is this one. Oh, this one is actually the same, yeah. Okay, let's skip it. And this one. Okay, this one is special case because this one involves the other chapter. So for this one, I want to separate this one first. The idea is to separate this one, yeah. I will tell you why later. So 2 to the power of x times 2 to the power of 1. How it become like that? Because you have the properties of that one. Negative 9. That means you have to memorize all of the properties, yeah. If you don't remember the properties, you cannot do this, guys. Okay, and then I will switch this one. Switch the position. I'll have 2 times 2 to the power of x minus 9 times 2 to the power of x plus 4 equals to 0. Okay, right now I want you to focus on this one. Okay, we have 2 to the power of x and we have 2 to the power of 2x. I will rewrite this as 2 to the power of x. Wait, yeah. Wait a minute. Okay, but we still have these 2, right? That 2 can be written right here. It's the same, right? When you insert the 2, you'll have 2x, right? It's the same. But if you write it like this, you will know that this one is the same. And because the 2 to the power of x is the same, that means you can let the 2 to the power of x as a, like that. So you'll have 2. This one is a right now, and this one also a later, yeah. So a, we still have square right there. So a square minus 9a and then plus 4 equals to 0. So the idea is to solve this using quadratics, yeah. After this, you have to factorize. This one is 2a, this one is a, this one is 4, this one is 1, minus, a equals to half, and then a equals to 4. And then let's input the a. The a is 2 to the power of x, right? So 2 to the power of x equals to half, and then 2 to the power of x equals to 4. And then next is 2 to the power of, half is very easy, right? Half is 2 to the power of negative 1, right? So x equals to negative 1. And then 4 is to the 2 to the power of 2, that means x equals to 2. You don't have to recheck the answers because this one is indices. There is no restriction in this part. So both of them is the solution. Yeah. So this is the first section of the chapters. I hope that you can understand it well. If you cannot, just ask me later. Yeah. Thank you guys. Bye bye.